So, say someone is unkind to you or one of your friends, or they're immoral or unjust. And what is said? We've all heard it before, right? The phrase, oh, their karma's going to catch up with them, or their karma's going to come back to haunt them, right? So, this is a really narrow way of looking at what karma is. And I'm going to tell you in this video why you should stop saying that and then try to see things differently. Welcome. My name is Brooke. I'm a Vedic numerologist and astrologer, and I wanted to make this video because I was in the store the other day, and two of the people that were working there were talking about something that had happened to one of them. And the friend was saying, yeah, their karma is going to come back to get them. And I know that a lot of us have said that, so I just thought I would make a video about it because that's not actually what is going to happen. So, karma is not a punishment. It is not something that is trying to seek retribution for actions that have been, done that are not kind. What karma is it is divine right action. And it's what we must do in this life, the actions we must take. So, our dharma is what we're meant to do, and our karma is how we will fulfill our dharma, it is represented by the planet Saturn, um, the karaka for karma. And while Saturn is the judge, and essentially he is the jury as well, he doesn't just hand out punishment. Saturn, the planet, is exalted within Libra, right? And Libra is ruled by Venus. It is the sign of trying to find balance and harmony with other people, especially, right? It's represented by the scales. And so Saturn is here to find balance. And sometimes we do have to go through difficult things and difficult, trials and tribulations to find balance. And that's why Saturn is here. So he doesn't just, hand out punishment randomly. And it's not for us to decide when punishment should be handed out. And so one thing I do want to mention when we say, oh, their karma is going to come back to get them, we're actually creating more karma for ourselves by saying that, because we need to let things go in life, right? We need to acknowledge what happened, but not hold it inside of us or ask for punishment to come to another person, because what's happening, what may have been done to us, could be that balancing and that, recalibration that Saturn is implementing in this life from something we may have done in another life. So something that has been done to us could be that rebalancing that we did to someone else in another life. So think of Saturn as the planet that is trying to help us achieve liberation from this life, right? We cannot achieve moksha and then stop the cycle of death and rebirth. If we have any desires left, any issues with someone, because to move on, we can't desire anything. We have to be at peace with everything. And so he's trying to help us find peace through the act of balancing. And sometimes that balancing act, like I said, can come through difficult transitions, difficult trials, and we just need to find that peace within ourselves and with others. So when something happens to us, we need to say, yeah, that didn't feel good, but now I know how that feels in my heart. I'm going to make sure that I don't do something like this to someone else to create more karma and more, recalibration and rebalancing that's going to have to come in either, in this life or in another life. But acknowledge it as well and then let it go, right? Because everything in this life is ultimately an illusion. And so, when things happen to us or to our friends, it's just a mirror that's being held up of something that we need to still work on and let go. Because if we're at peace with everyone, then nothing anyone does is going to upset us, because we're going to see ourselves in the other person and recognize that, no one is without fault. And that is really hard, right? I mean, for any of us to do that all the time is really challenging. And that's why we're still here in this material plane learning these things. So just try and see Saturn as the planet that is there to guide you and to recalibrate your life and your actions. He doesn't just hand out punishment indiscriminately or when we're wanting him to. He is there as a judge, and he's judging everyone on the same playing field. Justice is blind. He doesn't care how much money someone's made or someone's status in life. He just cares that the actions are balanced and in harmony and without our judgment, right? He's allowed to judge, but we're not. My advice, at least, is the next time someone says something unkind or is even cruel, that we recognize what their actions are within ourselves, see if there's a part of us that is capable of doing something like that, and then doing our best to let it go. And then we can clear our karma with them, right? We don't want to create more karma with the person that we're having issues with. We just want to let that go. So, yeah, that's just my take on what karma is and what Saturn is and why saying, I hope their karma comes back to them, because that's just saying I hope punishment comes to them. And that is not what karma ultimately is. Karma isn't punishment. It is our divine right action that we have to take. And in that process, making sure that there's balance. Ram Dass said, and I'm not quoting it verbatim, I can't remember exactly what it was. He said, our freedom lies through our humanity, not in spite of it. And I think that this quote is so prevalent with saying of, oh, their karma is going to come back to them, because we have to go through the struggles and the rebalancing in every life that we're in. But we can't just get to freedom by being spiritual, right? The freedom lies through humanity. And I do love that quote. And if I'm not saying it correctly, please let me know. But yeah, that's just my advice. Whenever someone says something cruel, just remember that, just, let it go, because it may be your rebalancing that you did to that person, but it's coming through in this life. So if the video is good for you, please like and subscribe so you never miss another one of my other videos. And if you're interested in a consultation, you can click the link in my bio or reach me at brooknumerology.com. And I will see you soon, friends. Bye.